twice, my shooter in the VIP. 10th grade, bought a frame, peel off licks. Pack set, feel like I'm cruising on the ship. It's your birthday, put some ice on your wrist. I reached every goal, had to write another list. I'm stroking on toe, I just biting on the lip. I fly across the globe and I call another hit. They watching cause they know how slimy it can get. I'm running to the top, I'm bottom of the ditch. Your favorite burn, and he running out of hits. Say the wrong word, I'm shoot him in. This a big dog, you a poodle, I'm a pit. My choice is dog just as far as I can spit.
Hello YouTube, welcome back to another episode of KLA Sports. I'm your host Kyle Alexander, and today we have some breaking news, or at this moment we have some breaking news. So I'm just give it to you straight. Breaking news: New England Patriots signed quarterback Cam Newton to a 1-year, $7.5 million incentive deal. And also in regards to the New England Patriots, they were fined $1.1 million, and they lose their third-round pick in the upcoming 2021 draft due to the Cincinnati Bengals film incident, or not incident, but that situation. So they lose stuff there, but they also bring in a starting caliber quarterback in Cam Newton. So I'm just get down to potential, how it looks, and stuff like that. So let's just hop right into it. Again, this is not a shocking move. We saw this move coming ever since Cam Newton got released and Tom Brady left. It's been one of the perfect land spots for Cam Newton is the New England Patriots. Everybody's been linking them to the Patriots, and now we've seen it happen. It took a while, but we finally saw it happen, especially when they didn't draft a quarterback. But with that being said, Jarrett Stidham goes back to second string, so all the Jarrett Stidham hype is over. I was honestly, I actually wanted to see Jarrett Stidham play. I just wanted to see how he played out, if he could actually be the heir to Tom Brady in New England. As you know, that's how New England do with them hidden gems, sort of. Now, he goes back to second string, but it's okay because we get to see Cam Newton play. That's what I wanted to see all along. I'm a Cam Newton fan. I liked him since Auburn. I just think he was, I like his story, and I like how he always has that, a chip on his shoulder mentality type. And we're going to get into that in a minute. But now the signing is a win-win situation for both sides. So we'll start with Cam Newton. First of all, I know injury is a big concern, but we all know what he can do when he's healthy. A healthy Cam Newton is dangerous. That is, in words of Stephen A. Smith, that is a bad man. And he's going to talk about his last three seasons, or his last three significant seasons. So in 2015, he was the that 15-1 Super Bowl run. He won league MVP, helped lead his team to a Super Bowl. They lost, but if you're looking at the silver lining, Cam Newton knows what it's like to be in the playoffs, lead his team to the playoffs, and help lead the team to a championship. He knows what it's like to be on a championship caliber team. And then you got the greatest coach in Belichick. That's a perfect match. Now, jump ahead 2 years later in 2017, he led the Panthers to the playoffs, where they lost in the wild card to the Saints. So right there, missed the year, but then goes right back to the playoffs. And then back in 2018, he was when he was healthy, he led the Panthers to a 6-2 record halfway through the season. And then the TJ Watt hit when they played the Steelers ended the rest of his season. And last year he was injured, didn't look that great in his first two games. And like I said, we know what a healthy Cam Newton can do. Because like we said, in 2018, Panthers probably would have made the playoffs. They were already 6-2 at the halfway point. Yeah, I know anything can happen, but with the way Cam Newton was leading that team, I didn't see them falling off like they did. That same season, they against defending Super Bowl champs, they came back from 17-0 in the fourth quarter. We've seen, it's like we know what he can do. He's a great quarterback. He knows how to win games. He gets another chance to prove that he's a superb quarterback. What's the name? And just a different timeline on him since the injury last year. He passed his March physical with the shoulder and foot checked out to go. It checked out well, it was good to go. And he's still in rehab for the foot. But right now he looks better than ever. He's been working out. he's been working out, putting in work on, training with other people and players. I know he was training with Odell Beckham. Him and Odell got a little workout in. But Cam Newton's just been on the grind. He's talking about revenge tour. He's hungrier than ever. And I want to see this Cam Newton. He looks like he's, he said, hungrier than ever. He looks like he's going to go on a revenge tour. If you look at it from the Patriots side, Cam has a chip on his shoulder, which plays into the Patriots' philosophy and their way, like their way of football. A motivated Cam Newton on a Bill Belichick team, that's a scary sight. That's a scary sight. Now, again, this is all with the healthy Cam Newton. I'm not saying they're all Super Bowl bound, but, I mean, who knows, anything's possible. But playoffs, I might count him out. He has, like I said, he has that chip on his shoulder. He's motivated to show the Panthers why it was wrong to cut him, and show other people, prove those people wrong. Show them why he's still, like I said, a great quarterback. And Belichick's trying to prove that he can go further without Tom Brady. So those two right there is a match made in heaven. Panthers, it gives them a decent quarterback at worst. Worst case scenario in terms of play and outcome, gives them a decent quarterback. Cam Newton is not a terrible quarterback. He's a decent quarterback at worst. As I said, we've seen his resume. Like we know he can get to the big game. He knows what it's like to get there. Another thing, Cam can extend the play when it's broken down. Something Brady lacks. Brady doesn't have that mobility, that ability to move on his legs, and like I said, Cam Newton, like you said, one of the, probably, I would say, generational dual threat quarterback. Cam benefits from the great O line. While offense benefits from Cam from his scrambling ability. Now, I'm not saying Cam Newton's like this big old Hall of Famer, but it was like, it's always that line of generational dual threat quarterbacks. You had Mike Vick in the 2000s. Then you had Cam Newton in the 2010s, and now we probably have Lamar Jackson in the 2020s. It's just these new era of dual threat quarterbacks, and Cam Newton can extend the play, move around in the pocket, make guys miss. Say it's a third and long. Cam Newton steps back, nobody's open, sees the defender coming, fakes them out, rolls out, or just moves around, and then that's when he finds he's like Julian Edelman open for the first and throws it. The offense can benefit from that. It's a new thing for them. Brady didn't have that mobility because Brady was able to get the ball out quicker, but Brady never had to move around. And Cam Newton this is the best O-line that Cam Newton's had in his career. Now this is another thing on why this is a good signing for the Patriots. Another thing. Since they lost their third round pick, if Cam Newton has a good season and then walks in free agency after this, the Patriots can get a compensatory pick in the third round, so the Patriots can still get the third round pick back. But another reason why it's a good signing for them, last year the Patriots went 12-4. 3 of those 4 teams the Patriots lost to had a scrambling or a dual threat quarterback. Those are the Baltimore Ravens with Lamar Jackson, Houston Texans with Deshaun Watson, and the Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes. The Newton signing brings them up to the new curve, right? It gives them that mobile quarterback, that QB that can move around on his feet, has speed, can like I said, buy plays, run if he has to, can use his legs as another way of breaking out defenses. That mobile quarterback is a new trend. But Tom Brady, New England's offense, Tom Brady's style of QB play, it's a little, I would say it's outdated. Because, even you got guys like Tua, he's not a dual threat, but he can scramble, he can move in the pocket. Even Justin Herbert, he can run, he can take off if he has to, but he's not like a dual threat or a scrambler. He can take off if he has to. Even Trevor Lawrence can take off if he has to. Trevor Lawrence can run if he's in that situation. Same with Daniel Jones. We saw that Daniel Jones' first career game against the Buccaneers. I believe it was fourth down in the goal line in the goal area, and Daniel Jones just ran it. He saw that it was open right there, straight up, and just took off. Like, I mean, pocket passes aren't. I'm not gonna say, oh, pocket passes are gonna be trash, but pocket passes, dual threats are starting to be more favored now. So it's that new style. It's a new style QB for that team. Like that team really hasn't had a dual threat. Team hasn't had a dual threat in a while. I believe the closest thing they really got to him was Jacoby Brissett when he played those 2 games when Brady got suspended. And what's the name? The Patriots, they'll also manage Cam Newton's running. Like, they won't do a whole lot of design runs, or they'll try and watch him running due to injury risk. Like I said, it's a new style for them. It's a new wave. It's the new wave, and they're hopping on it. They're following that new trend in the NFL. They're staying up to date. Now, in terms of the division, where this puts them at in the division, I still believe the Bills have the division, but the Patriots are still there. Like, they're still right there behind them. And the division, like, it's pretty much like the same. It's like 2 teams. It's not as great, but it's not too terrible. Like the Jets, who I think are an underrated team this year after their off season. I believe the Jets might have a chance. Probably get ahead of New England, like if they're competing for that second spot in the division. I mean, I still think New England won't come out on top, but New England's going to give them, or not New England, the Jets going to give them competition. Dolphins, they still need time but the Bills, we saw what they did last year. They were right behind New England, and they got that wild card spot. And you give Josh Allen a number 1 receiver and add to the it was like lost some pieces, but still add to that top 10 defense that they had. So with that, you finally give Josh Allen number 1 receiver. I think Josh Allen could have a breakout year next year and lead them to a divisional title. But New England still got Belichick, so like I said, it's mainly going to be a battle between Buffalo and New England. Now we're going to take a look at their roster right here, so I'll put up on the screen right here. So yeah, this is their current roster after Cam Newton signed. This is what it looks like. So you got Cam Newton at quarterback, you got Sony Michel, James White at running backs, and you got Julian Edelman, who's their number 1 receiver in their slot. Got Mohamed Sanu as the other outside receiver, number 2 receiver. And then you got N'Keal Harry as a number 3 receiver. Could possibly move up to that number 2, if he stays healthy. And then you got that great O-line. And then tight end, you got the rookies Dalton Keene and Devin Asiasi. Now, if you look here, they don't have much of a receiving core upgrade. For Cam Newton, it's not much of a receiving core upgrade. It's not that great of a receiving core. I believe the only signing this offseason was Marquise Lee from the Jaguars. Even then, it's not like he was great. Now, I said they drafted N'Keal Harry last year in the first round, but Harry hasn't lived up to expectations. Some people are calling him a bust. I'm not writing him off yet because he was out for a majority of the year. I believe he only played 5 games, but even he still looked a little rusty. But I mean, I think with the full season, he'll be able to. I think he'll be able to bounce back and have a good season this year. Have a decent season, especially with Cam Newton. Now, what I would look into if I'm New England, sign Dez Bryant. He's been putting in work. He's been, he's a great size receiver. He's a great receiver. Like he has the size, he has the hands. We've seen him putting in the work. He's worked out with Patrick Mahomes, other people, and I believe last thing the Saints did sign him the year after he was cut late in the season, but he tore his Achilles. So I believe now he's healthy. And again, this is another signing where you don't have a lot to lose. It's a low risk, high reward. High reward, you go, Dez Bryant plays out to where he was or close to where he was, and becomes a good receiver for the Patriots. Low risk, it doesn't work out. They could just release him, like sign him to a 1-year deal. See what happens. See if Cam Newton, Dez Bryant can get some chemistry going. And like I said, it's the best O-line Cam Newton has ever had. So that's the offensive side. That's the roster point of it. So, like I said, Cam Newton really hasn't had a lot of great receivers or great receiving core. If I'm gonna be honest, I'd probably say the best one was probably 20. I'd probably say 2018 because you got Christian McCaffrey, Greg Olsen. Like Greg Olsen has probably been the best receiver he's had. He had Steve Smith for like 2 to 3 years, and then they cut him. Panthers cut him. So I would say you got DJ Moore, Christian McCaffrey, Greg Olsen, Curtis Samuel. It's probably the best receiving group he's had. Now a lot of people are saying Patriots is the best receiving group that he's had, but they don't really have a lot of people. The only person under 30 on that roster that I just listed is what's his name? N'Keal Harry. Then you got the two rookie tight ends. Again, they don't have great tight ends, but I like I said earlier, New England, they bank on those players who are like, under the radar, hidden gems, and play to their strengths, and make those players into superstars like Tom Brady, Gronk, Aaron Hernandez, like Julian Edelman, Danny Amendola. Like, a lot of those players aren't high pick players, and they turn their careers around. So I mean, it says like just looking to sign in Dez Bryant can't hurt. Also, with the Cam Newton signing, I believe this can help N'Keal Harry have a breakout year either this year or help N'Keal Harry get on that track to have a breakout season next year. I believe in N'Keal Harry. He was one of the best receivers in the class last year, and he just hasn't. It's been like mixed emotions. We have to wait and see. Now he has the catch, like he has the catch radius, the size, the jump ball ability. Route running needs a little work. Um, Route running needs a little work on that speed, footwork, and maybe he can be like an 800-yard receiver next year or this upcoming year, and then year after that becomes a 1,000-yard receiver that New England has thought of him to be. And yeah, so that's my roster standpoint. Now, last thing I want to talk about is record. So where do I see the Patriots going? I see Patriots having a 7-10 win season, possibly making the playoffs as a wild card. I mean, I think before I had them like 5-7, but now with Cam Newton, it's a new style. It's going to be an interesting offense. I think the offense is going to be like similar to a lot of I was going to say similar to Ravens, but not really. Like in terms of passing, he has a safety valve in James White like he had with Christian McCaffrey. McCaffrey's obviously way better, but James White, he's one of the better pass catching running backs in the league. Then you got Edelman, who's a great route runner, great receiver. So New England's going to do like a lot of over the middle stuff, and have just have Cam Newton throw it over the middle, do some short stuff, and I say with Cam Newton gives you something new. So if you're on the goal line, you can run in with Cam Newton. Watch out for that injury, but it gives you something new. Maybe try some read options. But and this brings them up to for me. This brings them up to a 7-10 win season. I think New England can make something happen with Belichick and Newton. I think that's going to be a great deal with Newton's chip on his shoulder to prove everybody why he's still an amazing top quarterback, and for Belichick to prove everybody that he's a great coach and that Tom Brady needed him instead. So maybe they see him as like a 5th to 6th seed at best. All right, that is it for this episode of KLA Sports. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, another thing, I started a podcast with my friend Jalen from school. It's called Unpopular Black Thoughts, put up on the screen right here. So basically, my friend Jalen and I, we just talk about different stuff. Like we do a little stuff like unpopular opinion with black stereotypes, and then we also talk about more political stuff. Like the last episode, we did a Juneteenth special. The episode before that, we talked about sports. So we talked about Michael Williams going to a HBCU possibly. The stereotypes surrounding black quarterbacks, and then the NFL trying to incentivize minority coaches. So I think it's an interesting podcast. You guys should check it out. Put the link in the description. We are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcasts. Just look it up. And yeah, just check that out. And also, I'm gonna be dropping I'm gonna be dropping a tutorial on how to start your own podcast for any of you guys who have a podcast idea out there, just don't know how to get it started. Yeah, that's it for this episode. Let me know in the also let me know in the comment section below how you think the Patriots will do with Cam Newton and how Cam Newton will do. Honestly, if Cam Newton is healthy and plays all 16 games, I see him being comeback player of the year. Yeah, just let me know how you guys think that will play out. That will be it for this episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you guys next time.